With the first week of spring ball, the guys worked really hard. We had 3 practices this week and obviously a lot of meetings. Things are going very well. Beautiful day out there today, so I had a good practice. First day in full pads, and really pleased. Pleased with what I'm seeing across the board. Really good group, very efficient, and off to a good start.
If you have questions, go ahead and use the raise hand feature. Josh, go ahead.
Hey, Mark. Good afternoon. What surprised you this week? Is there anything that you thought maybe would be harder, just getting things situated here early on that surprised you that maybe wasn't as hard, or vice versa?
Sure. Turn that up a little bit. I don't know if it was Josh or Josh's mic or our mic, but just turn it up just a little bit. I got it. I got you. I don't know if surprise is the right word. Pleased with a bunch of new offensive coaches, new system, and very pleased with the efficiency of our offense, and just the basics. The communication, the urgency. Getting to the line of scrimmage, alignments, assignment, just being efficient at our plays. I feel like the accuracy, our quarterbacks really, they know where to go with the football. Our completion percentage is extremely high, which I really like to see. Very few drops, very few footballs on the ground. So I'm pleased with what I'm seeing. I feel like defensively today, the first day in pads, you certainly felt their pop, you felt their punch. The guys are big and strong, and we're showed up a bit better as you would expect when you put on full pads today. But very pleased with what I'm seeing offensively, and just the efficiency of the offense and the way we're going about. The install. It's hard as you get going. Sometimes you may look good in day 1 or day 2, but as you get to day 3 and day 4 of the installation, and now you're trying to put everything together, and that could get a bit overwhelming for the players, but they still have done a good job. Obviously, there's a lot of work to do, but I'm pleased with the start.
John Wall.
Hey, Mark, we've heard a lot of the players talk this week about how excited and energized they are to learn Coach Liam's new offense. How challenging has it been for you as the old head coach to be able to get up to speed, get on the same page with a lot of those offensive schemes? And what percentage of your time in spring practice is now going to be devoted to the offense?
Yeah, quite a bit of my time is devoted to being around the offense right now and watching that, and keeping my, just keeping an eye on that. But what's nice about the spring is when we tie up in our group settings, in our team sessions, we're going offense versus defense. So I get to see it all. So it's been very good, and it's exciting for me. To learn the system and to be in there and watch what they're doing and see us evolve day to day. So it's been an exciting time.
Lonnie?
Mark, we understand that based on what Coach Liam said, that size is not an issue for sure in the offensive line. If you have a couple of slots to fill, and I know, I'm assuming you got the body's good, but how far along do you feel you are with that?
With offensive line, Lonnie, or where?
Yes, offensive line.
Well, offensive line, you need so many good players. That's the thing. So we do feel like, we're grateful. Obviously, Darian came back, and then you get Luke coming back, which really helps us quite a bit. With the frontline guys, but we definitely need some help and some depth. Like most teams, you get to spring, you feel like you're a little bit thin at certain positions. As I mentioned in my day 1 press conference prior to the start, we're fortunate. We have over 100 players out there right now in spring, which is rare. with all the newcomers and with the return of the extra year for the 6th-year players. So we're in good shape. We have quite a few bodies, but I think it's fair to say, Lonnie, that we're always trying to build quality depth, especially at the interior line position, offense and defense.
Josh?
Hey, Mark, hopefully you can hear me better. Sorry about that earlier. With we got a few receivers, entered the portal, came earlier, and then a couple guys this week. Was that because my impression was maybe those guys would go through the spring and just see how they fit into everything, but clearly that didn't happen with at least a few of them. Was that something y'all talked about, or kind of how did those situations?
Yeah, I hate to, we wish all those guys nothing but the best and greatly appreciate what they've done. We're deep, we're deep. I mean, we still got 11, 12 guys out there getting reps right now. And we need production. We need to get better. I said that in my day one press conference as well. We need to get better. There's no denying that. We've got to take some steps forward. And, you do that by, replacing. You do that by recruiting. You do that by developing the guys you have and getting them better each day. And we're working hard at that. I feel good. 10, 12 guys are out there right now getting quality reps, and we got to keep on pushing them and getting them better. We have some guys coming in the fall that have some juice, that have some speed that we greatly need. But with Isaiah coming back, if we could keep him healthy, Isaiah gives us that speed, and then you got Josh and you got Wandell. That's as good a front line as we've had in a long time. So that was day one, starting 3 wideouts, and those guys all have some juice along with our tight ends. So again, just appreciate all the guys and what they've done. Turnover's going to happen. There's going to be more. I mean, we have to actually. We got to turn this roster over a little bit. So we'll continue to compete.
Lonnie, do you have another one?
No.
Okay. John Wong?
Mark, you've alluded to this before about not wanting to overload the guys with too much information too early on. I think even in mid-season sometimes, you've said sometimes you put too much on them. Are you concerned at all about Liam coming in and maybe wanting to do a little bit too much? How do you strike that balance?
Not right now. We have to pour it on them right now. We have to, go whole. We'll go whole, part whole. So we'll put everything in, not everything. We'll put a lot in. We have to. We got to continue to evolve and progress. And then, you can dial it back some and try to hone in a little bit and then push them again. So, but we have to feed them a lot of info right now.
Is your gut feeling at this point that this is a team with a pretty high football IQ and can absorb a lot of this information?
I definitely feel good. I feel like overall the guys are very committed. They're working hard. They're putting a lot into it, both in the film room and on the practice field. So that's what's nice about spring is again, the way I do it is Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. That gives you a lot of time to absorb that, get healthy in between. We lift and have meetings on our off days. It makes for a long spring, but I feel like we can get a lot in.
Nick?
Mark, you talked about Isaiah. How did last year help him, and how has he shown you stuff just through the first 3 days of spring practice? What does he give you?
Well, he gives you some top end. He gives you some speed that we definitely need. But he's got that injury that has definitely been lingering. But I think when it's all said and done, he'll be at 100% in the fall. But we got to continue to monitor that and make sure we're not overloading him. But he gives the one thing that he brings you speed.
Josh?
We got to speak with DeAndre on Thursday, and I came away really impressed with him. Just vocally, like confidence, it just seemed like he was at a different, kind of at a higher level. Not that he's ever been like you're not confident, but it just seemed like it came across, more visibly Have you seen that from him? And what are your expectations of him as you're just kind of leading that group and the defense?
I think all of our guys, we put them in leadership roles and give them the tools to be able to lead. He is a guy that in some way or some form or fashion has been a leader since day one. But I think each year you kind of find your voice, you find the way to communicate and impact more and more people. And I think that's what you're seeing with him is the normal transition of becoming, a leader that more impactful to the entire team. There's quite a few people in our program, in our organization. If you're in there in a team meeting, there's 25, 130, 140 people in there. And, a guy like DeAndre, the longer he goes in our program, the more equipped he is to have an impact on the greater amount of people. And I think you're seeing you're seeing that transition, you're seeing that growth. He's always been a remarkable young man. He came in with a great mindset from the beginning, and that's why he's becoming a better and better leader and a better and better player each and every day because it's so important to him.
Last call for questions. I'll take one more if we got it. Don Wong.
Mark, we've always talked about the importance of having enough alpha dogs as part of the team. In your mind as a head coach, is there a possibility of having too many? And what's the proper percentage of having alpha dogs versus followers on the team?
I don't know the answer to that question. I don't know. I don't put any limitations on that. We'll see. We're 3 days in. This team is forming its identity right now. Through the winter, what they did in the weight room, and lifting and running, and then going through spring ball. There's still quite a bit of time. So we'll evolve, and let that maturation process happen naturally and see how it shakes out.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Lonnie snuck one in there. This is the last one. Lonnie, go ahead.
Mark, you seem to have quite a few guys, well, I would say quite a few, but some guys on the roster that this is outside backups that are big guys. How many of them do you think you have to trim some weight off any of them, or leave them like they are, or do you think they have the speed? How do you feel about those guys?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we play different sets. Sometimes you may play, some teams that want to get big and play with two tight ends, possibly three tight ends. You're going to get some big sets. So you need different body types. We have different packages. We have a way, to play smaller when we call it the medium, package where we put more of a defensive back in that Sam linebacker position where it's a kind of a cross between a nickel and a base defense. So there's different packages that we can do. So we need all different body types and personnel. We need, it's our job, it's Brad's job to get the best 11 on the field at the proper time. And, certainly throughout the year, you're going to face different offenses and different personnel groupings. So you got to be prepared for all of it.
All right, Coach Stoops, thank you.